Hello, hello. My name is Raw Naughton, also known as Do, and welcome to the 70/30 Opinion Space, where I give my opinion and facts, and I try to stick to it based on what I believe is the correct prognosis of the situation. So for today's video, I recall that I was asked a question and I had quick response that I could give, but I'm going to mention that. So the question was, how and why do I believe or feel so confident? And my quick instinct was like, ignorance is bliss. What you don't know, you don't know. And kind of thing. Like, I didn't really know that, I'm confident or I'm not. And I thought about it and I stewed a little bit in my mind, and I decided, one of the reasons why I believe that I am as confident as I am is because I usually believe that I start in most situations at a loss. And the second thing is that I have no problem giving the other person the win. So those two categories is why I believe that I'm as confident as I am. Now, let me explain. When I say start at a loss, what I mean is that I like to try to think about the end game of most situations. So if I'm in an argument with someone that I consider that person, friendly or even a friend, during this argument, I have to contemplate two things. Am I gonna ever have a decent conversation or speak to this person again? And if the answer is yes, then I believe in this conversation, for me, I've already lost most of the argument. So that's not saying I'm not gonna state my point. I'm not gonna try to, make a point. But if at the end of the day, the other person is gonna be so fired up that we're gonna be end in a kind of a passive aggressive manner, which I'm not, but a lot of people around me or where I'm at is very passive aggressive. So instead of me having to deal with the awkward moments later on, I prefer to say, well, I'm not gonna never speak to this person again. So let's end the conversation with this person feeling like, they've accomplished what they were set out to do, whether it's right or wrong. Now, that's not saying I don't engage in nice, friendly banter back and forth. It's just saying that if I believe that this conversation is going into a bad direction, it's easiest for me to ask myself a question in the middle of this conversation. Am I gonna ever have to deal with this person again? And if the answer is yes, I've lost, this person win, and I can submit to the conversation and we move on. Now, if I tell myself that, this is not important, I don't care, or I don't believe, or I don't think I'm gonna speak to this person again, then I'm shutting down the conversation with my facts and what I'm doing, and you leaving out of here with your passive aggressive behavior or your moodiness or whatever, because to me that's not important, and I don't think that we will have to come across each other again, or we will not have a decent conversation anymore. And that's where a lot of situation lies. So I pick and choose my battles, but usually I think that to keep something going, I usually go for the loss. And whether or not they know it, doesn't matter. I just convince myself that it's not that important to me to win the conversation if at the end of the conversation, the person leave out of there in a visceral manner to where now all of a sudden I'm dealing with a lot of passive aggressive behavior and unnecessary fixer-upper situations. So it's best you leave out of there the champion. I know what I know, the conversation go the way it goes, and we move on. So giving the person the win, in my opinion, is one of the best things I've learned to do that helps me build up my confidence, because after I give a person a win, I could look, because I played a long game, I could pay attention, I could look, and I could see that that person eventually come around by their own doing or their own understanding that they didn't really accomplish what they were set out to do. And I see, like you said, I could see the dominoes falling down right in front of me later on, because I did that long game, give them the opportunity to feel and win. And then at the end of the day, they make the circle back later, apologize, which, and I believe that I know this is gonna happen, or I know it's coming. So that helps me gain a certain kind of confidence, because I learn people, I deal with people. I'm very, focused on people at all times. I like to treat every individual like their own entire world. So everybody to me is an individual that my job is to learn and understand them. And the more you learn about people is the more information you gain, and the more knowledge you have, and the more communication skill you build up to be able to assess each individual as such, to where you gain that knowledge that can help you give other people the win and still be satisfied with yourself in engaging in this conversation. So that was just my take on what helps me build my confidence. And hopefully I explained it clearly. But again, I want to thank everybody for watching the videos, and people are asking me questions, and as soon as I hear a question, I try to see if I could respond to that question appropriately and get that information out based on my thought process. And again, my thought process usually falls in a smaller group status. I don't have the popular opinions. I have just my opinion, and there's few people with it, and I like to say 30% of the population may agree with me, and 70% probably won't. But I'm giving the 70% they win, so they can come around and get to understand what I'm thinking without just lashing out real early. So this is not a knock on anyone. It's just, I believe that I played a long game and it works for me. So again, thank you for coming out to the 7030 space, and hopefully you come visit again. Leave a comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. The more comments and questions I see out there on the videos, and I do check those, the more I could pick up one of those questions and just create a video trying to put my opinion or my thought process on that video. And again, this is going long, so thank you, and see you on the next video.